Charlotte never imagined that the worst day of her life would become the reason people whispered her name with admiration years later. One moment everything seemed normal. The next, her world shattered into pieces she didn't know how to rebuild. But what happened afterward was something nobody expected. The pain arrived without warning. Betrayal, loss, a crushing disappointment that stole her confidence and left her questioning everything. Every morning felt heavier than the last. How could someone move forward when every step hurt? Yet hidden beneath the wreckage, something powerful was waiting. Friends offered advice. Family offered comfort. But none of it reached the place where Charlotte's pain lived. She smiled when people were watching and cried when nobody could see. Was she breaking apart forever, or was something else beginning to take shape? The answer remained hidden. One night, staring into the darkness, Charlotte realized something terrifying. Nobody was coming to save her. No miracle, no shortcut, no rescue. It was a frightening truth, but it sparked a decision that would change everything. That was the moment destiny knocked on her door. Before we go further, if Charlotte's story inspires you, take a second to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who may need this message today. Because what happened next could change the way you see your own struggles. The next morning looked ordinary, but Charlotte made a promise to herself. She wouldn't focus on what she lost. She would focus on what she could build. It sounded simple, yet carrying it out felt impossible. Still, she took one step forward, then another. And that's when the unexpected happened. Every challenge became a test. Every setback became a lesson. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" she began asking, "What is this teaching me?" The shift was subtle, but its impact was enormous. Little did she know, a much bigger challenge was approaching. Just when life seemed to improve, another disaster struck. Opportunities disappeared. Plans collapsed. The progress she'd fought for seemed to vanish overnight. Anyone else might have given up. So why didn't Charlotte walk away? The reason shocked even her closest friends. Charlotte discovered something powerful. Pain could either become a prison or a weapon. The choice belonged to her. Instead of fearing failure, she studied it. Instead of avoiding obstacles, she faced them directly. Was this courage or desperation? The truth was far more surprising. Days turned into weeks. Weeks became months. Slowly, results appeared. Her confidence returned. Her skills improved. Her vision became clearer. People who once doubted her began paying attention. But success wasn't the biggest change happening in her life. One afternoon, Charlotte looked at an old photograph of herself. The person staring back seemed like a stranger. The fear, the uncertainty, the hopelessness, they no longer controlled her. Yet one question haunted her mind. Had she truly healed, or was another battle waiting ahead? Then came a surprising opportunity. The kind of chance people dream about for years. But there was a catch. Accepting it meant risking everything she'd worked to build. Would she play it safe or gamble on a future nobody could guarantee? The pressure became unbearable. Most people spend their lives waiting for certainty. Charlotte chose differently. She stepped into the unknown despite the fear. Every instinct screamed at her to retreat. Yet something inside pushed her forward. And the moment she made that choice, the entire story changed direction. Success attracted attention, but not all of it was positive. Critics emerged. Doubters returned. Some people wanted to see her fail. Why do others resist someone's growth? Charlotte couldn't understand it at first. Then she uncovered a truth that altered her perspective forever. She realized that many people project their fears onto others. Their limitations become warnings. Their doubts become predictions. Once Charlotte understood this, she stopped seeking approval. And when she stopped asking for permission, doors began opening in unexpected places. Then came the biggest surprise of all. The very pain she once hated became her greatest advantage. The struggles taught resilience. The heartbreak taught wisdom. The failures taught strategy. Everything she wanted to erase had actually prepared her for success. But the story wasn't over yet. Charlotte's journey accelerated. New opportunities appeared. Bigger challenges followed. The stakes grew higher with every victory. Yet something felt different now. Fear no longer controlled her decisions. What happened to the woman who once felt powerless? The answer stunned everyone. She had transformed her identity. Charlotte stopped seeing herself as a victim of circumstances. She became the architect of her future. That shift changed everything. Because once a person believes they can create change, the impossible starts looking achievable. But one final test remained. Life presented her with a moment that mirrored her darkest days. The same kind of pain, the same kind of uncertainty, the same temptation to surrender. Would she fall back into old patterns, or had she truly evolved? Nobody knew what she would do next. The revelation hit like lightning. Every setback had been training. Every disappointment had been preparation. Every struggle had been shaping a stronger version of herself. What once looked like destruction was actually transformation. And that's when everything finally made sense. The revelation hit like lightning. Every setback had been training. Every disappointment had been preparation. Every struggle had been shaping a stronger version of herself. What once looked like destruction was actually transformation. And that's when everything finally made sense. Charlotte's story spread far beyond her own life. People saw themselves in her journey. They recognized their own fears, failures, and hidden potential. Could they also transform pain into power? The possibility inspired thousands. Yet one final mystery remained unanswered. Tonight, somewhere, someone is standing exactly where Charlotte once stood. Hurt, exhausted, and ready to quit. They don't realize that their greatest strength may be forming right now. The real question is this. When your moment arrives, will you let pain defeat you? Or will you turn it into power? The answer may change everything.